the ultimate weekend getaway created to celebrate fathers and father figures from 20th to 21st June. Enjoy a premium escape filled with relaxation, adventure, music, great food, and quality family time. These are the things you're going to enjoy when you're on board for Joy Safari Escape. Complimentary bus service to and from Aqua Safari. Yeah, because we care about your comforts. Breakfast courtesy of Safari Homes. Luxury night stay at Aqua Safari, scenic river tours and boat cruises. Fish and tortoise feeding experience, underwater cave viewing. Eco Park adventure with amazing wildlife encounters. Buffet meals, island party with live band entertainment, swimming pool, archery, board games, lawn tennis, endless vibe from our DJs. Now guess the rates. A cool 4,000 Ghana cedis for single, 6,000 for double, and if you are coming in a family of 4, 10,000 Ghana cedis. For enquiries, please WhatsApp or call Lois on 0531003813. 0531003813. You need to join in this experience, okay? Yellow Ghana, are you a business owner looking for a smarter way to keep an eye on your shop, restaurant, office, warehouse, anytime, anywhere? Well, MTN Business Eye is here for you. Keep your business secure anytime, anywhere with MTN Business Eye, the smart surveillance solution that gives you total visibility and control. It's powered by Wi-Fi, SIM connectivity, cloud storage, and solar energy. So your security never sleeps even when the lights go out. So enjoy 24/7 monitoring, real-time alerts, two-way audio and reliable backup, all at affordable rates. Just dial *5060# today and keep your business in sight always with MTN Business Eye. MTN everywhere you go. For 150 years, Fantapim has stood as a beacon of excellence, discipline, leadership, and service. Since 1876, the school has nurtured generations of men who have gone on to shape Ghana and the world. And so as we celebrate this historic 150th anniversary, we invite you to be part of this milestone moment. Your support will help strengthen infrastructure, enhance student development, preserve the proud legacy of this great institution for future generations. You can contribute easily and securely by dialing *920*1876#. Let's come together to honor the past, empower the present, and build the future. Fantapim at 150. Jin Shekan. Now, in partnership with the National Theatre, Joy FM, and Roverman Productions, we're bringing you an Uncle Ebu White original, Love and Handcuffs. Yeah. It's happening on 26th, 27th, 28th June, 3rd, 4th, 5th July at the National Theatre. Rates 300 Ghana cedis per show for individual persons. 500 Ghana cedis per show for couples, and 225 Ghana cedis for holders of the Roverman loyalty cards. Tickets are available via the Rover app. Koba short code *365 *535#. Or Wakana offices on the Boundary Road in an American House. Pebia House at Roverman's usual outlets at Joy FM front desk, shops at Airport, Tema Community 11, and Dansuman and at Bachuna Total Shop. For enquiries and large orders, please call 050-5540. Again, 050-554-6010. Or just WhatsApp 050-554-6030. Sponsors Wakanao, Apotica and Koba. Communications partners M-Notify and Logistics Movies. Roverman Productions, be the difference. is Showbiz A to Z on Joy 99.7 FM. Time for the review. We are unpacking the 2025 Ghana Tourism Report. Last year we did same here. It was a nice show. I loved it. We're back today this year to look at the 2025 Ghana Tourism Report. And to do this, we have Isaac Kofi Dadzie, Lead Data and Research Analyst, Joy News. Emmanuel Frimpong is President, Africa Tourism Research Network. Gideon Asare is CEO at Dancy Travels and founder of African LLC. Francis Doku, he's CEO, Maestro Africa Group and West Africa Regional Rep for Africa Tourism Partners. Uncle Ken is a broadcaster at Joy FM. We have Matthew Kofi Aka Ezra, Research, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer, Ghana Tourism Authority. And we have Mr. Ananinsia, who is the Deputy CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority in charge of General Services. So I told you, the show is packed today. Now get your seats, get some popcorn. Because we are going to learn, we're going to get insight into the reports regarding tourism in Ghana and all the things that happened within that industry in the year 2025. Let me say welcome to all my guests. Okay, Mr. Ananinsia, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is the first time doing this with you. First time. I don't know if it's your first time in the studio, but first time I am interviewing you.
Yes, in the studio, yes.
Okay.
Across the road, I think I've been there on some other program.
Yes. I hope you're doing well, though.
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Mr. Frimpong.
Hi.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Great. Good to have you back. Yeah.
Same here.
Ghanaians are managers.
Yes, the best managers in the world.
Uncle Francis.
Hey, nephew Kwame. This is your original uncle.
Hey, okay, that matter.
Uncle Ken is a latter day uncle.
Let me go on Zoom and Isaac Kofi Dadzie is with the research department. He's lead there. Let me say hi to Isaac. Hello, Isaac. Kofi Dadzie, how are you? All right. We connected with him. Let me get to Uncle Ken. Hello, Uncle Ken.
Kwame, good afternoon.
You know today I did the right thing.
Yes. It was deliberate. I realized you were deliberate.
I have learned my lessons.
Yes, you even went outside the shores of Ghana to greet before coming.
Uncle Ken,
Yeah.
how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm glad to see my folks again. It's just that Mr. Anani, I've never met him. This is the first time.
Okay.
And apparently he's been at the GTA for Youngs.
Yes. He's been around.
Good to see him.
Thank you.
Yes. Nice.
Where was Joy of Saraf?
95.
95.
That's true.
Wait.
They should give me honorary status when I come here.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
When it was tourism board?
Yes.
Yeah. Kwame, why are you surprised? That's the true definition of a public servant.
Wow.
True definition of a public servant.
Oh.
Be at the place, give out important information to whoever comes. A wealth of knowledge that he has.
CEOs come and CEOs
Yes, they will come and go.
Ministers come and ministers go.
They will come and go. And the good thing is, over all these years that he has
that.
been there, we haven't heard any bad thing about him. Otherwise, I would have known about him, for instance. So I think he deserves praise for being at the place for so long.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to today's business. We are reviewing the 2025 Ghana Tourism Report. And if you've not read it, you can. Is it online? I think it's online. You can get it on the website. Yeah. Okay. So you can just go there and then just follow the discussion. You can open it on your phone or maybe your laptop, and let's have a good ride. Okay.
Kwame, the volume alone can put people off.
Oh, it's not that. I went through that. It wasn't that much.
57, and there's a
The
lot of
pages.
pictures.
Unless you are very interested
Okay,
in the
but I get
industry.
it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. If you are interested.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, but when you go to social media, you go to Joy FM pages.
Oh, yeah.
We've done
You
some
break it down and
breakdowns
put-
there,
yes, that's
and stories,
wonderful.
stories that will let you understand them
Yeah.
better. But this show would break them down further for you to understand. So 05511119997 is our WhatsApp number. If you have any questions, you can drop the questions. You can do so on our social media handles as well. Joy 99.7 FM. Let's start with Mr. Ananinsia. He's Deputy CEO of GTA, in charge of general services. Let's start with a report. Mr. Ananinsia,
Yeah.
so this 2025 Ghana Tourism Report, what is in it in summary? Just tell us what is in the
Okay.
report.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
By way of background,
Yes.
the publication of industry trends
Okay.
is part of the mandate of the authority. Apart from all the things we do, standards and quality assurance and so on and so on. Our act enjoins that we conduct studies on the industry and publish the same. That's why we disseminated this information. And this is not the first time we're publishing a tourism report. I mean, it's been doing it consistently for maybe 4 or 5. How many?
I think since 2019, right?
Yeah, you know. And basically, there are certain indicators we track. For example, how many people are coming, international tourists are coming into the country, where are they coming from, the demographic makeup of this market segment, when they come to Ghana, how long they stay, what's the average spend, where they go, and then the domestic statistics will also track. For example, how many people are going to tourist attractions and so on and so on, so that we have an idea how many businesses are in the tourism space and what are the occupancy rates of our hotels, so that anybody who has a certain interest at least has some guidance to know what is happening in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what this is basically. What
Okay. And this is a research material. It's born out of research, basically. And so you must have deployed a methodology in getting all your data and everything together. Could you run us through that methodology, how you were able to get all the figures and all those facts for us to consume?
You don't trust it? Anyway, for the I just direct, for example, if you want, I want to tell you how many businesses are in the tourism space. We know the number of units we have licenses, so we know it's straight away. But we rely on information from the airport, from the Ghana Immigration Service. So we have an idea how many people are coming in, where they are coming from, and there's that information that is
Okay.
clean and analyzed to know who comes in.
Okay.
In terms of the visitor impressions of what they find and what they think of the country, we do airport surveys. Like intercept surveys, people are going out there, and so there are certain feedbacks we get from the people that the travelers say. That gives us an idea what people think about some of the things that they encountered. So basically, that's how those informations are compiled.
Okay, so the Ghana Immigration Service, GIS, is one source.
Critical source.
Critical source.
Very good part.
Okay. But don't you also consider other sources, maybe the land entries and all that?
They are there too.
Okay.
It's not just the airport. The majority of the people come from through the air borders, but Aflao, Elubo, and the other ones are also the information from there. It's also collated and put together.
How does it take us about 6 months to publish the report?
It's a delay that we regret, but ideally we should be able to do this like by April, by the end of the first quarter.
The first quarter.
Yeah. By the end of the first quarter.
What is the challenge?
Or the delay, I would say it's our fault, but generally you should be able to, the year must end, then you must get the information. We don't get real-time information from the airport. The immigration service must do the analysis, because it's not everybody who comes through the airport who is automatically captured in this data. There's a definition for who is a tourist and so on. So they do the cleaning and they do the analysis and then they give us the information. But admittedly, June is late. It should have been like end of first quarter, April thereabouts. And we
last year when we had the review of the 2024 Ghana Tourism Report, we raised the same concern.
I know.
And the promise was that we would try and do it quite early or earlier.
I know.
And we are here again, 2026 for 25, and it's out in June.
I know. Better late than never. I'm not going to accuse anybody for delaying my problem, but we understand.
Are you going to promise us again?
We'll do better.
Joy 99.7 FM Showbiz A to Z. We are having a critical look at the Ghana Tourism Report 2025. Mr. Naninsia is Deputy CEO in charge of General Services. You just heard him speak to the reports, the research methodology, among other things, and we're just about starting. Kofi J, if you are there, let me say hi to you again. How are you doing?
Yeah, Kwame. I'm doing great. How about you?
We're also doing great here, and I guess you have gone through the entire report.
Yes, lengthy one, but we've done justice to it. We've been able to comb through it all, comparing it to 2024 and other previous reports.
Okay. Kofi, before I get back to Mr. Ananinsia, I would like to know, after going through the report with your team at the research department at Joy News, what are your findings? What have you noticed from the report?
Well, I think we'll start with the headline figures, and you asked about methodology, which is important because over the years, you've got a lot of concerns about how these estimations are done. So based on our checks and looking at the data, how the computations were arrived at, what you realize is that this is a simple arithmetic, calculation where you've got total number of arrivals who are in the country for tourism reasons, right? Are tourists and they get to the country. You get the average expenditure for each of these tourists in terms of the number of days or nights they spend in the country. So in 2025, for instance, our record shows that close about 1.31 million tourists arrive in Ghana, and their average expenditure around that period for 13 nights was around $3,319. And if you do this multiplication, that is what is going to give you the total receipts we got from tourism, which is about 4.34 billion, Ghana cedis. Now, these are beautiful headlines, but if you compare them to 2024, there were certain things that saw a decline, and we possibly, the guests in the studio, will have answers to that. My job is to just do the data. 2025, the receipts, if you compare it to 2024, dropped by 10%. That's significant. And if you look at the total number of arrivals, total number of, the average expenditure by a tourist or a visitor also dropped by some 11.3%, right? Yeah. And in terms of the things that saw an increase, is the arrivals saw an increase of about 1.4%. International, visits also saw an increase of about 7%, and you've got licensed enterprises, which I'm very happy that we are beginning to keep data on, businesses in the industry. Now you have about 7,109 registered enterprises in the tourism industry, which that data also went up by some 6%. So basically, that is in terms of the headline figures, that is what it's looking like. If you plot a chart, compare from 2019 to 2024, looking at the arrival curve, currently I say it's a very beautiful curve, which looks like a golf stick, right? Where We were around the average of about 1.2, 1.1 million arrivals per year until COVID. We got that big dip, and it's been rising. Another interesting, observation we made comparing over the years was that although you are seeing, arrivals increase by some 6% in 2025, what you realize is that the rate of increase has been diminishing, right? So in 2021, for instance, if you compare it to 2020, the increase was around 78% in terms of growth rate. Growth rates in terms of arrivals dipped from 78 to about 64%, then dipped again to about 25%, now dipped to about 12%, and currently in 2025, we are talking about 1.4% in terms of the arrival growth rate. So that should tell you that after COVID, the industry was returning to the normal curve. That was why we were seeing the abnormal growth rate. But now we are beginning to plateau, where we are seeing the natural growth rate over the past 2 years has averaged around, let's say, 5%. So if you want to know the growth rate of arrival in the country, if you do proper seasonalization of the data, you see that in the last 2 years, you're talking about some, 5%. There were other interesting, observations that we also made, and that is the arrivals or the visits to our tourist, facilities or centers, and the fact that you got residents who are patronizing our tourist, centers. I think that is one interesting thing that we need to also point out. And also the fact that if you look at the top 10 most visited tourist sites in the country, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park remains number one. But unfortunately, the number of arrivals or visits in 2025 dipped by some 9.2%. Kakum National Park, second, saw an increase of about 10%. The Bonsu Center also saw a dip of about 3.8%. Cape Coast Castle, fourth, with an increase of some 17.7%. And you've got a number of them in terms of the top 10, how do you call it, sites visited in the country. In terms of purpose of visit, if you ask these visitors the purpose of their visit, number one is for business, which is about 30% of the data that we are looking at. And for family and relatives, around 1%, 2% for other reasons. There are visitors or tourists, about 3%, holidays, about 4%, and in terms of conferences, also around 5%. So if you do the math, you see that tourism, or those who visit the country, in terms of total arrivals in 2025, just about 3% in terms of their arrivals were purposely for visits or tourists, right? Majority of them were for business fairs and other things. So maybe in the conversation, we look at how maybe we can blend in businesses and conferences also into the tourism conversation. The United States remained the number one, a country in terms of where most of our tourists come from. Nigeria is still second, then followed by the UK, which has plateaued a bit in terms of growth rate. Comparing Ghana to other African countries in terms of tourism receipt, we are still around, in terms of top 10, we are still within that range, just behind Kenya. Egypt is still number one, followed by Morocco, Tanzania, South Africa, Kenya, and then Ghana. Then maybe finally will be on where tourism, or the importance of tourism when it comes to forex receipts, in terms of source of forex receipts for the country. If you rank this, some time ago, tourism used to be around third in terms of, sources of foreign exchange receipts for Ghana. But currently, in terms of the data we have for 2025, if you seasonalize the data, it could actually land it in a different direction. But we just use the absolute data, where gold is still number one. Total inflows from gold for 2025 was about 21 billion US dollars. Remittances or private transfers is second with about $7.8 billion. Tourism is still third.
Okay. Kofi, are you there? Okay. All right, Joy 99.7, Showbiz A to Z, and we are having a review of the 2025 Ghana Tourism Reports. Isaac Kofi Dadzie is our lead when it comes to research at Joy News, and he was breaking down the content of the reports. Kofi, you are back.
Yeah. So I was making a point that tourism is still holding on to its third position in terms of top foreign exchange, source of foreign exchange receipts for the country. But I mean, I think that we also need to talk about the methodology and how we do the estimation. I'm sure there are people who have fantastic knowledge about the tourism industry and all of that. Because if you look at 2025, tourism receipt could have easily hit about 4.8 billion, like we did in 2024. But the reason why that didn't really happen was because although you got international arrivals increasing, the average expenditure of the tourists in 2025 dipped from the 3,742 we saw in 2024 to about 3,319. So that was a dip. That was around 11.3%, which I think is significant. And we need to try and find answers to why the average expenditure in 2025 increased. There are so many other angles that we can look at, data angles, but I think that our guests in the studio will add flesh to it and try and make sense of the numbers that we presented so far, Kwame.
Thank you, Isaac Kofi Dadzie, for that insights. And Isaac is lead research department of Joy News. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. We're getting deeper and deeper. Let me start with Uncle Francis Doku. So you are going to tell us what you make of the entire report. So I'm giving you, should I give them 5 minutes each? 5, okay, 5 minutes each. Five. Okay, maybe I should give you 20. Let me start with you, Francis. After reading the report, your general assessment.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I think my first point was going to be about the timing of the report, but Ms. Ananisia has conceded that, well, they take responsibility for it. But I believe that it would be good if, we work on it so the report comes early. I remember last year the report came in July, right? And we were here in the studio to discuss it. And Gideon mentioned how, as an industry and as people within the sector, they rely very heavily on the report to plan. So if I'm going to rely on a report to plan and it comes in June, July, it worries a bit. So I'm happy that Mr. Ananisia has accepted that. They will look at that. And I hope next year, maybe by first quarter, because all other, the UN Tourism, for instance, releases their report of the previous year in January, which means that they will rely on what countries and regions provide them to be able to release. So if we do not, provide them with that. And again, we'll come back to Mr. Nsia maybe would clarify, but other markets, they have month-on-month reports. They release the report, so the likes of the tour operators and others within the space would know, for instance, this month how we perform compared to maybe the previous year, the same period and all that. For instance, in April, I had Seychelles numbers from January to March this year on how their tourism and they compared. So we need to find ways to let the reports or the data be a bit more active, so it helps with the planning, and the report will come out a bit early. Secondly, I think Kofi Dadzie did a good job in analysis, of the figures, and I think we would have to commend the data department for that. But there are a few things, a few questions that need a bit of answering. For instance, we're told that the Ghana Tourism received or receipts or spent in Ghana by tourists was 4.34 billion in 2025.
Yeah.
A dip of about 10% or so from the previous year. It's a bit difficult to, and that is based on tourism spend, average tourism spend of 319. See, the challenge for that is that Ghana is not an island, right? We operate within a certain space. So there are other countries that also we benchmark or compare what we're doing to. We cannot just say that this is what we do and this is how things are and all that. So there's a bit of, in my view, concern about the figure of the average spend. Because if you take some other countries, for example, let me share a bit of analysis that we did. For example, if you take South Africa says that their tourism arrivals for 2025 was 10.5 million. Their tourism receipts for 2025 was 4.95 billion. So 10 million, 4.95 billion dollars.
Okay.
Tanzania, their tourism arrival was 4.29 million. Sorry, 2.29 million, which is almost twice what our reporting figures were. Their tourism receipts that we've reported was 4.4 billion. Now, if you take Kenya, it's 2.7 arrivals. Tourism receipts is 3.85 billion. Rwanda, their tourism arrivals was 1.49 million, which is slightly higher than ours. Their tourism receipts is 685 million. It's not even up to 1 billion. You know, so it's a bit intriguing if you say that your tourism arrivals is just 1.3 million, not just, 1.3 million, but your tourism receipts is maybe 4.38 million.
Is that not possible?
No, it's not possible.
It's not possible?
Because, I mean, I'm just comparing. I'm telling you that South Africa is 10 points.
If we are comparing, if we are
not maybe.
if we are comparing Ghana to South Africa, someone.
Now I've also mentioned Rwanda.
Rwanda.
I've mentioned
someone may also raise the issue of economic conditions are different in these countries.
No, we're talking about tourists and how they spend.
Of course, they spend. They come here and they spend.
Yeah.
Maybe how much they will buy something here will be different from how much they buy.
So it will be. So let me tell you also the tourism spend.
Okay.
South Africa's tourism average spend is $4.95.
Average spend.
Less than $500.
Okay.
The same with Rwanda. Kenya is about $1,000.
And ours is.
We are saying 3,319. It is a bit too high.
And
$3,000.
Dollars.
Did you check the average number of days?
The average number of days, Ghana says that our average number is 13 days.
Yeah, that's what we have.
Rwanda is 5.5 days. Tanzania is 8.5 days. South Africa is 10 days. And Kenya is 10 days. So again, on that, we look to be different from any other destinations, on the continent. Yeah.
Just to interject.
So the person talking is Mr. Gideon Asari,
Let him talk.
CEO of Adansi Travels, so that people know that it's not Francis Doku who is still talking.
I think that, I mean, if you look at the trend for Ghana, you seem to connect the figures because we are talking about 13 nights as our average spend.
Yeah.
And then we are talking about majority coming, majority of them also business travelers, like 31%.
Which is even something we'll talk about.
And then, so Ghanaian, if you take the typical people who visit Ghana, and our top is US. So our top market is US.
Yeah.
Kenya's top market is US too.
No, I'm coming. So for instance, Kenya, people come to Kenya and do 3 nights from US, from Europe. They can do US, you can do 3 nights and move to Tanzania, do 3 nights and then move to Rwanda, or they do Mombasa combined with maybe Arusha. So those people, they will be counted, right? In Ghana, our tourist people that arrive, they don't do that. Mostly, I'm not saying all of them, but 90% of people coming from the US coming to Ghana, the kind of tourists we attract are different. They come and soak themselves in Ghana, and the experience, the reason why they come is a bit different. They save for long, they stay longer, and it's a bit of different from the East Africa market, from operator point of view. Okay, so when they come, you cannot compare. Even from us taking Ghanaians to Kenya, we do 1 night, 2 nights, but they are all be counted. So our expenditure could be $200. So when they do the average could come to $1,000 or $800, because there are some that are coming for 20 days. Okay. But there are also a lot of East Africans, West Africans transiting to Dubai, spending 1 night in Nairobi, going to other places. They are all counted. It dropped the average. Here is not too much of a transit point because we don't have a national airline. So because we don't have it, all these countries you are comparing, they have a national airline. So because they have a national airline, there's so much transit passengers who are counted as tourists. They spend 1 night. Some are even given free incentive to just enter and go. All of them are counted. They spend, but not much. And because we don't have a national airline, most of the people coming are actually coming here. So the short stay is very small, and that's why our average is bigger. Average length of stay is longer, and then our expenditure is also high. Not to say that there could be other factors, but just to put that into perspective.
I think, Gideon, if you recall, last year we raised a similar issue, you and I, and you even mentioned how such figures make it look like the destination is very expensive. You know,
so they've corrected some of the. So looking at this report, so last year, for instance, they were giving expenses on things like car rentals, cars and food, and the figures were not realistic. But for the average spend of, I'm just comparing to how much we sell the packages out there.
Okay.
Okay, so a 10-night package in American markets, we don't sell the grand package. It's selling between $2,000 to $3,000. Like for somebody to come to Ghana, just without flights. That's how we spend. Before he comes and spend in other ways, so entertainment and all those things. So we are covering the person's hotel, arrival, transport, entry to the site. It's selling between $2,000 to $3,000. Then when the person buy that package and he arrive, he's now going to spend few on his own, which they will capture those as part of, because they are all part of tourist spend. So for the typical tourists who are coming to Ghana, these kind of expenditures are in line. But because we are having 20% also coming for family, they don't spend. They are staying in their auntie or their family home. They are not paying hotel. They eat from the house.
But those are not tourists in the typical.
No, but they are
definition.
part of the statistics we
They
have.
are
So
captured.
if you look at the statistics, we have 31 for business. We have 20-something for people visiting family.
No, but again, and I think it's also the reason why we have this conversation, so that we help the GTA, if you like, with proper feedback to look at how to properly clean the numbers. Because, I mean, Mr. Nsia is more experienced in this than all of us. To know that you are not a tourist if you are coming back home, because the proper definition of a tourist is to go to a country, maybe sleep in a hotel or a facility, and then spend. But if you're coming back to your country and you're going to sleep in my house, you're not considered.
What Gideon is talking about, for example, my son lives in the US, okay?
Yeah.
When he comes with his wife to Ghana, he stays in my house.
Okay.
He drives my car. But he's not ordinarily resident here. So he's captured in a tourist figure. When he goes to Maha or he goes somewhere else, his expenditure and all of. So it's different from a Ghanaian who has returned.
Okay.
The visiting friends and family has a diasporan or angle to it. You know, Ghanaians originally from here who now don't live here. For example, if you migrate, you go and stay in South Africa, and that's your ordinary place of business for the next 2 years. When you come as a tourist Christmas in a month, what you do, although you stay in your own house that you built, it's different.
Oh, you are still a tourist?
You're still a tourist.
No, you're not.
Okay. Is that how it's defined in the books of the...
That's not how the UN tourism defines a tourist.
If you are ordinarily resident outside,
Yes.
whether you are Ghanaian, I mean, you could be Ghanaian.
Okay.
For example, working at
UN.
somewhere. When you come home, you are captured in a tourist figure.
Why should you?
Because you don't live here. Who is a tourist? You don't. No, the things he does, No, but
Yeah.
visiting friends, what he does, the activities he does, you see, there are different motivations.
Okay.
Some may come from UN conference
Yes.
on reparations next week.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, let me go to Cape Coast for a day and two. So his primary motivation is the conference. But he gets engaged in tourism activities. So he's captured in the figures.
Mr. Anansia, please educate us. There are a number of days one needs to spend in the country to be considered tourist,
It's
right?
just a day.
A day.
Just a
At least
day.
if you sleep over.
At least a day. And maximum how many days?
It can be less than a year.
Less than a year.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
but within that year, you must not engage in activities that
Employment. or-
generates
yeah.
revenue from here.
Yeah.
You know, if do I have the floor? If I can continue.
Before you continue,
You
so
know, we
before you
all
continue,
have
sir.
to-
I
oh,
beg.
sorry.
Okay, so a tourist is a person who travels to a place outside their usual environment for leisure, business, cultural, religious, educational, or other purposes and stays there temporarily, typically for at least one night, but less than a year. According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, a tourist is a visitor who spends at least one night, in the destination here to visit, and this is from the UN definition. So,
I just want to say that what
Francis.
Francis said is important. I mean, statistical accuracy.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
You know, but Ghana is not a typical. Our characteristics of our destinations are a little different. I mean, look at the average accommodation rates in our upmarket hotels. I have stayed in 4-star hotels for less than $150 in some places. You don't get that here. So if somebody spends 5 nights in Rwanda and I spend 5 nights staying at Moving Peacock and Pisby, my accommodation alone is quite substantial. So much as we need to be very rigorous about the estimated expenditure, I don't think those numbers, like what Gideon is saying, are really serious outliers, you know. So we shouldn't be too bothered about.
Okay, let me come to Francis
See,
too.
my
To finish up
border
all
would
this.
be, for example, that if a destination like South Africa is saying that their average spend is $470 for an average tourist, Rwanda is saying $495, and Ghana goes to $3,319. That's extremely high. I mean, regardless of what the rate would be, I think that if it is a bit appreciable, about 3 times, 4 times, fine. But this is like so many times compared to
But Francis,
others.
I
So-
also think that we should take
No, I
into
just-
consideration all the other factors.
Yes.
How much does one pay for a hotel, maybe a night in South Africa? Compare that to Ghana, just as he mentioned, and other commodities and services.
Mr.
Anansia.
Anansia has mentioned that.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that I still feel that we are a tad too
Too
high,
high.
because then we
Okay.
portray the destination as a bit too expensive.
Okay.
You know, to people
All right.
who will come.
All right.
That's fair.
And other
I think-
areas, okay.
I think also maybe so that I move on, so other people can
Yes,
also
yes,
come in
yes.
is that the other area that I feel that we may have to look at the reporting, and maybe Mr. Anani will clear that up, is where we said that 31% of people who travel to Ghana came here on the basis of business.
Yeah.
Again, if you benchmark that against what's happened, across the continent, it looks like Ghana is an outlier. And we live here and we know the number of events that come compared to, say, maybe a Rwanda or South Africa or a Kenya. For instance, South Africa says that their total number of arrivals, it's just 2.5% that contributes, business tourists contributes. But we know the number of events, business events and things that, so Cape Town, for instance, is number 1 business destination in Africa. Kigali is the number 2 business destination in Africa. Rwanda says that 12% of business travelers contribute to there. So I'm just saying that 31% may be, in my view, a bit too high. And we need to know, what happened in 2025 that would have contributed that much to, knowing very well that our destination even, is fighting for space within the business, and my space. And so if we report that 31% of the people who came here, tourists, came because of business, and we benchmark that against what happens on the continent, I think we may be putting aside the leisure side, which is primarily what our destination is, culture, heritage, and all that. So I feel that we may have to get a bit of explanation on, how that came by and how 31% of the people who came here came from that. Maybe we'll come back later.
Let me get to Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong. Your assessment of the report.
Thank you. That's my minute start or just
Keep talking. Keep talking.
It's not scoring.
You keep talking.
right. So, initially I wanted to ask Gideon, and I think he answered when he was speaking that if you are putting a package together for an average person who is coming, tourist who is coming into the country for let's say 13 days, what is the rate? How much do you charge? And I think he's answered that. And if you look at what Francis was also saying, 31% of those who
Tourists.
classify as tourists are business tourists. Then you ask yourself that how many days does a business tourist spend in Ghana? And for me, I think that 31% is on the high if you look at our space, right? And then you look at how many days does a business tourist spend in Ghana. So if you look at that figure, then that should inform you that that rate is quite high, 3,390. So we need to look at it. And then if you look at the others, interestingly, in Ghana, if you are doing a survey and you meet a Ghanaian who is coming home and you ask, oh, where then be business, maybe business, then you captured as a business tourist. But the person is coming to do, probably he's building a project and he's coming to look at how he's going, oh, I'm here for a business, you capture it. So we need to be very careful with the figures, else we will look expensive. It might not be the case. And I remember what Gideon said last year when we came here, as Francis has referenced. It makes us look a bit expensive. So we need to look at details of the figures. Who is a business person and how long is that person staying here? And then maybe we can look at the figures again. For me, I think 3,000 plus is on the high if you look at the numbers. I don't know if I should look at
Other areas,
the
yes.
report.
Yeah, you can go to other areas.
Well, so let me look at it from where Mr. Ananinsia said that this report is actually for publication in the of industry trends. So I'm going to look at it from that perspective,
Okay.
so that we can appreciate it very well. So as has already been established, 1.4 increase in travel arrival, and then we have domestic tourism also growing strongly. I'll come back to that because we need to look at when we say domestic tourism growing, who are the people that we are capturing? If you look at the 10 top sites that we capture people visiting, who are those? School children, adults, workers, who are doing, how much are they contributing? So if we say we are domestic tourism is actually increasing, how is it increasing? What is the impact? So we will look at it. And then revenue also remained a bit robust, but if you look at it carefully, then we have some questions. But there are some critical questions that we need to ask as we delve into the report itself. And one has to do with, is the growth sufficient? 1.4. What was our projected annual growth as tourism industry? And if we look at that against what 1.4 is usually for the past few years, around that figure, we don't go far from it. So what was our target that we wanted to meet? Were we able to meet that target? Did we fall off or we overachieved? So we need
before you move on with that, can we ask Mr. Naninsia if he has an answer to that, the target we set for that? Target for international arrivals, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
considering that the year before
Yes.
it was 12%.
Yes. So, Mr. Naninsia, so do you usually have a target for the year, as in how much you are envisaging to have in terms of arrivals and receipts?
We normally have, for example, 2-3 years ago, we wanted to be. You listed the 10 top destinations in Africa. First, we started with trying to be the number one in West Africa, which we did earlier than we planned. And now we want to be in the top 10 in Africa. We are not there yet. So that's a kind of generic target that we have. But specific numbers for the year, we don't set it that way.
Okay. Right. Please, you can continue, Mr. Frimpong.
Okay, so the next thing that we also have to ask ourselves is the fact that if we are attracting tourists who are spending, or we are more focused on the numbers, because if you look at the numbers alone, you might get it wrong. because whilst tourists are coming in, you should also think of over tourism, because at the end of the day, over tourism is basically the way you looked at me. Basically, when you have more numbers coming in, the negative impact on your economy, on your people, your culture, the environment, how sustainable are they? So we need to compare that. We shouldn't just look at the numbers or the monies that are coming in against what is actually happening to.
So there is over tourism.
Yes.
Ghana hasn't reached.
We not catch there.
We are far from there.
At what point does tourism
We not
become
catch there,
over?
bruh.
Kwame, didn't you
No,
hear
Venice
it's
and
sites,
Mexico,
Yes.
a lot of
sites
countries.
might be experiencing over tourism.
That's
If you
carrying
look at-
capacity
If you
issues.
look at Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park,
Yeah.
if you have been there and you look at it, you look at how the workers there are also overburdened. The tourism,
The tour guides.
the tour guides,
Yeah.
right? Attraction guides, right? You look at how they are struggling and the numbers, the students that are going.
That one you can increase capacity.
Yeah, you can increase
Because
capacity.
if the place can absorb more people and the tour guys are tired or something,
We don't
we
even
just
know
increase
how much
capacity.
the
24-hour
place can absorb.
economy.
Increase whose capacity? The
No,
tour guys.
the tour guys can work
the
per-
number of
if you can-
employees.
yeah, put
That's
three
what he-
more.
So he said increase the
Shift.
capacity.
3 times
But
shift.
Who pays for that?
24 hours.
No, but you are
No, but if
getting
you
you
get
are,
more people-
you are getting more people. There's entrance fee, so you it's a business unit. So if there's more demand and the capacity you just have to increase it.
So
Because
then you're
there's-
talking about casual staff certain times.
yes, at the peak hours.
At the peak times. Yeah. Then that's cool.
But notwithstanding, I
Because
think
not
immense
permanent
point,
staff.
maybe certain locations, even in Accra, also experiencing rent hike because of so it's those issues in a
Those factors.
in a macroeconomic
Okay.
sense could be looked at that we have to spread the tourists. Otherwise, we don't have too much, but the few increments we have might stretch
Okay.
the few places that
What they call a geographic dispersal.
yes, and then you can't even rent as a local because everybody is taking it for Airbnb, and that's where the tourists are staying, and then it affects the economy badly.
All right.
And stuff like so.
Okay,
that
please,
leads
okay, so
to
please
overtourism.
continue, Mr. Frimpong.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Gideon. So the next thing that we also need to pay attention to is domestic tourism that we talk about in terms of attracting locals. If you look at, we seem to be doing the tourism tricycle. Accra, Cape Coast, Kumasi, and then sometimes Western region or Eastern region or Volta, right? What happens to the other regions?
Regions, yeah.
The report doesn't really capture distribution. It doesn't capture what went to the northern region, what went to this region, and how are we developing those places. And there's nothing like that.
It captures the top 10 and says 55 of them were considered while they were taking the
Data.
The data, yeah.
Yes. And then the 55 that they capture, you realize that they are all located in these regions that I mentioned.
True.
So as a report that is supposed to give us the industry trend, we have to know what is happening to these regions and why are these things happening to these regions and what are the things that we need to do so that we can develop tourism in these regions as well. So we need to pay attention to that in the coming. And then I think my 5 minutes, I still have some.
If you have more points, you can just drop them before we come to
minutes.
Gideon.
Now
Yes.
you are now a judge, okay.
Timekeeper.
Okay. And then you see, it's good that over the years we've had US, Nigeria, UK, sometimes Canada being our major
Source market.
Source market, right? But the challenge is, how do we work towards attracting other places as source market? Because if something happens to the US and the people are not coming in, what happens? Something happens to Nigeria and the people are not coming, what happens? So we
Like
need
Canada. Them refusing packing.
Then we will go to South Africa.
I can't really
We
want
will go
to
to
talk
South
about
Africa. Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken. We will target SE.
And them too.
So we need to diversify. We need to look at it. And I've been going to Germany for some time. I've written a recommendation to GTA. Mr.
Okay.
Mame has a copy. In fact, they arranged for a meeting, but they couldn't
Nice,
come.
nice.
That we need to look at other areas where opportunities are there. For instance, Germany and looking at Europe. So we can attract tourists coming from these areas. And also,
GTA was in Azerbaijan this year.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Someplace in the Russian Caucasus.
Okay. for tourism marketing.
Yeah.
You have the floor, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's
Francis and
interesting.
pressure.
The China market is also huge.
Okay.
We have a lot of Chinese in the country. I mean, how are we leveraging on it? So we need to also look at, because whether we like it or not, China is going somewhere, and they have disposable income that we can attract them to come into the country. And then also over-reliance on December and GH. If you look at the report, the arrivals were just around December. Ghana should have 365, 366 tourism activities that will attract people coming into the country every month. We have it. Why are we not doing it?
That's
Why are
Black
we-
Star experience.
No, I had
Mami.
Mami Efua
Yeah,
on
Mami.
my way here
Yeah.
talking something about 360. What was it about? 360 something.
Yeah, she spoke about how to make the tourism vibrant throughout the year.
Right.
And she was mentioning things they have done from January till
Yeah,
now.
no, so I'm only
Yeah.
adding to what you
So
Yes,
what he
yes,
said.
you're right.
Yeah.
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 So I think we need to look at that. And I was happy when they did the Easter, the Kwawu
Yeah.
GTA
The summit.
is looking at. And I remember, I think 4 years ago, Mr. Insian also mentioned that they've been exploring other areas, but the exploration is taking too long. I mean, let's start looking at what is it that we can do. Some of the regions have fantastic things that we can develop.
Yeah.
They may have their own challenges, but we have to work towards it to make sure that we don't over-rely on December and GH, because if something happens in December, then it means tourism is going to give us almost nothing.
I'm not cutting you. A few months ago, Abeku Santana, Deputy CEO in charge of marketing, and he said, he mentioned that they were also trying to make Easter another high point, just as December. So he mentioned that I think 2 months ago that plans are underway to give Easter also that particular buzz. So we've seen what is happening in Kweu. Now a few other people have also started, the Volta region, the Gumwa Easter Carnival, and all those areas. But just as you said, maybe the vibrancy is not as we expected. So yeah.
Can I just add a small
Okay.
point?
Before Frimpong comes in. All right.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay, I was going to say, Mr. Frimpong mentioned how to develop, other, tourism, if you like, products, and attractions and all that. I think it's also important that we know that the GTA is not necessarily responsible for those developments, and I'm saying that so that it takes me time.
Like GTDC.
That's where the GTDC come in,
Yeah.
in my view, that their responsibility as a Ghana Tourism Development Company is to help, develop some of those areas, those sites. So even though this is a report for the tourism sector,
I get it.
I think that we also need to find a way to encourage, if you like, or put a bit of, pressure on the GTDC.
They have launched 2 websites, one for marketplace, another for investment.
That's good, but I feel that if we're going to also ensure that people travel around the country to experience different, things, their mandate as the one that has to develop. I'm just saying this so that it doesn't look like it is the GTA's responsibility to
I get
develop those things.
Francis, so are you saying that the GTDC accomplishments are not captured in this report?
This is the
Please,
GTA's
Ms. Anna Ninsian should answer that.
Very, very
If I may,
Yeah, yes, please. You should.
Are you saying that?
let me land. I heard about you, that you're a headmaster, you bullied me. No. In fact, I had this conversation with Prof. Kobe. Now,
Yes.
about reports, why is it? You didn't capture the whole, if it's an industry report, we should make sure it captures everything, which is something we understand. They have some great innovative ideas they are introducing. But just to a little response to
Uncle Ken.
no,
Okay,
my
Mr.
brother.
Frimpong, yeah.
You know, we didn't think, because this was just like a fact sheet for the industry. We didn't think that we should put in some of the strategies that were necessary, because some of the things he said are very important about diversifying markets and so. But we didn't think that the report, because okay, if I say that this is what we have to do, but why haven't I done it? So if I put it down for the people to, of what use is that? But we know that we can't continue to rely on a few key areas, and then we have to look at the regional markets. We have to look at the Middle East. We tried China in the past. If you've even gone to the one in Finland, what's it called? The Finland Fair, Matka, and all of that. But see, sometimes you look at the cost of that market entry. Say you want to go to a fair in Finland, your stand space is about $30,000, blah, blah, blah. It costs you maybe $50,000. And you are now exploring. Now, if you deploy the same resource, maybe in Atlanta or Dubai, you get a much quicker return. You see what I'm saying? Or some other place. So, although we need to look at other areas, the low-hanging fruits, it's difficult to ignore them. You know, and the reason why those places tend to be easy for us is because there's a historical connection, there's a strong Ghanaian diaspora, the information is out there, and so on. We were saying we went to Russia, right? And you see, you were laughing. In your mind, like, what are you going to find in Siberia or something? But it was part of a team together with other agencies who were invited by the governor over there. And of course, they insisted that the tourism people also come. But you have to leverage on Ghana's connection with the Russia, the former Soviet trained Ghanaian graduates and so on. But it's not something that's going to translate immediately into so we need to look at that also. My CEO earlier on has said that we don't want Ghana to be known only for December and GH hype. You know, that is why there's this focus in the Easter month. There's a focus in February and so on. So that at every quarter or something, there's something big around which we can revolve to drive the traffic. So it's a concern that we appreciate. It's a concern that we appreciate.
All right, Mr. Frimpong.
Just to let me ask Mr. Anani that, you know, part of what we know the Black Star Experience Office is to do is to make sure that there's an activity every month. And how's the GTA kind of working with that office to make sure this happens? Because really, up to now in June, we haven't seen much from that angle. Maybe there are plans, you know, to do that. You know.
We've collaborated, in a few things, including that the one that after people did, remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we just did something together in Ethiopia. You know, you see it's like a big house with different rooms. GTA is one section, culture, and we need to work together, and we do. Problem is that most of them don't seem to be resourced, and when you have too many bro cousins, they make the world in a certain way. You know? I didn't say that. Anyway.
All right, Mr. Frimpong. Okay, so yeah, back to you again.
Yes, I have some few points, but I think I'll just mention one.
Yes.
I'll just mention one.
Yeah,
and then probably
we'll
we
come back
go-
to it.
As
Yeah.
we go along, the rest will come. I think the last point that I'll mention for this session is job creation. You see, as again Mr. Nsia mentioned, this report is about industry trend, and the purpose is that industry should be able to look at it and make some informed decision. Look at where the industry is going, what is lacking, what we need to do. If I'm an investor, I should read a report and also say, okay, Ghana is going here, so I think I have to invest in this area or that area. Over the years, we don't even know how many people are employed in the sector. How many were employed last year? How many lost their jobs? How many businesses have come in that they are suffering? A lot of these 3, 4, 5-star hotels are struggling with staff to work with. So we need to be informed by this report that what were the jobs that were created? Part-time job, full-time jobs, where are they? Which regions are they? Which regions created a lot more job? Where did the job come from? Are they international investors who have come into the country, because when we know that, then you know that any revenue that is received here is literally going to go out of the country, and we are going to struggle with the tourism receipt that we talk about. So we need to be able to give that information as well, so that it helps us as a sector.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Frimpong. Let me come to Mr. Gideon Asari at Dancy Travels. Gideon.
Yes.
Yeah, the time is yours now.
Yes.
You have 55 minutes.
All right, that's good. So our approach as a industry person, just want to highlight one or two positives I really find in the report that I think that we can also use it to increase the arrival. So, sorry. So the report mentioned the how people view Ghana, the fact that those that came in December, about 99% feel that Ghana is friendly place. There are so many aspects of marketing that you can use money for, and this is one of them you cannot. So it's good for us to hinge our marketing on these things. They also rated Ghana, 96% said they feel safe. And these metrics, for instance, you cannot, even if you have millions, you cannot turn your country to be safe in a matter of seconds. But we have it from the visitors. So if we anchor our marketing on the fact that it's a safe entry to West Africa, especially given the rise of our competitors, issues happening there, putting the safety of, we can really use that angle to attract more visitors. That if you want to visit West Africa, the people who came last year say we are safe, and these figures are very good.
And 98% was on the airport.
Yes,
98% said they felt safe at the airport.
Yes. So this is very good. But then there are also some significant gaps that if we don't mention, the problem will never get solved. And Francis talked about the revenue gap, and so I'll skip that one, and I'll talk about the fact that only few, about 9%, came for leisure. So 31 for business, 23 to visit family, and 7% for conference. If you put them together, 60% gone. And the people that came for leisure are very few. But it is the leisure that makes tourism because their expenses cut across the value chain. Because when they arrive, so we received some students from Indiana last week. Okay, so they are going to spend roughly close to 3 weeks in Ghana. They come every year. And their expenses cut across. From the driver to the maid to restaurant. In the evenings, these students, they are university students. So these students in the evening will go out, and apart from the package, they will spend from their pocket. Right? Yes. So if we get more of people who are coming for those purposes, it helps make the impact more than the 21% visiting family. Because such ones, they are staying with their uncle, they are family, they are not spending, they are even borrowing the car that they are going to move around with. So basically, they are spending less. And that's come to Francis' point that if majority of the people who are coming are not spending, how come our average expenditure is $3,000? It's a question for the gods. Now, the next one I want to talk about is the visitors are not visiting the attraction points, because if you look at the statistics, we are tracking 55 tourist sites.
Yes.
Out of these 55, we are saying that the 77% is just 10 sites, and these 10 sites are in 4 regions. The regions are mostly Greater Accra, Ashanti, Central, and Eastern.
Yeah.
So what happened to the other ones, which like Volta, where we have a lot of beautiful landscapes and waterfalls and
ecotourism capital.
Exactly. And it's true because a typical tour operator package is a triangle. A typical 10-day package that most tour operators are selling in the U.S. market.
All right.
Because it's over concentration to U.S. is arrival in Ghana, sleep, Cape Coast. Sorry, arrival in Accra. Thank you very much. Arrival in Accra, you sleep. The next day we give you a city tour of Accra because we want you to appreciate Ghana. Then we take you on a journey to Cape Coast. We spend 2 nights, do all the things there. We go to Kumasi. Spend 2 nights, come back to Accra and wind up. Maybe we do a day trip to Safari Valley and then we wind up in Accra. Mostly. This is so Eastern region will get day trips mostly because from Accra you can do a lot of Eastern region days. That is why the 4 move within the tourists.
Okay.
Right. Because for American that works for them. So for me, I wouldn't sell a northern package to American because if I sell a northern package which look like a safari, they will get disappointed, right? So I will sell this route which is okay for them. But the other markets, there are a lot of other markets, and because we over concentrate in America, the statistics will look like this every year.
Yeah.
But when you spread it to the neighboring countries, who can come in and the Africans, they don't want to go to the slave trade. It's not too much of an attraction for them, right? So when they come, they will love to go to the Volta region, the beaches, and or they want to go to the north.
Yeah.
And so we should look at that angle so that we be able to carve some package with like very intentional about it and say that for this year, can we increase the 4 top into 6 or 7? Gradually, we can expand it.
All right.
Then,
But if I may ask, Gideon, the tour to Cape Coast, how is it now? How has it been over the last few years since of the road? Yeah.
the road. So
Is it impacting on?
So last week we had small group from Barbados, and they were tight, like with 5 nights, and we wanted to also use it to promote the destination to the Caribbeans. So we had Odemaya volunteering to join us, and I was even planning to join myself, but I had to last minute send one of my staff. And so we said there's few, so we used land cruisers so that we can go to Cape Coast and come back. So we set off 5:30 a.m. It still took them 6 hours with 2 land cruisers. 5:30 a.m.
Wow.
And 6 hours to Cape Coast. This is just last week matter. So it's terrible. But the good news, they are working on it. They are on the road. But if it's going to take you 6 hours to go to Cape Coast, how much time will you have to enjoy the attraction? You arrive very tired, so they couldn't do all that they have to do, and they have to rush back. But there's money in their pocket they want to spend. So if we had done 2 hours, therefore they will use it to do some other activities and then spend more, and then the country benefit. So, Mr. Nsian, this one they will push.
I know his house.
No, we are asking to go and love it. You know you are not the one to, but you go and
My minister is listening, so we have no problem.
Then I also want to talk about the GTA, since my boss is here, working with the operators closely in their marketing. So, for instance, Dubai Tourism pays me every cent, every person I take to Dubai.
Okay.
They are interested in my numbers. We have call meeting every week. They meet. They like Zoom with their tourism. Every quarter there is a meeting. I have to be in it. Every week they meet my marketing manager on Zoom, discuss. Then every month we send our numbers. We have to get the numbers have to be backed by an airline. That yes, this is the number we send. They're interested in what they can do so that I bring more tourists there. South Africa tourism, that's the same. They have offices in Nigeria, overtaking West Africa. They have different offices. They pay for Joy FM studio. They just call you, go and talk about South Africa.
Yeah.
We paid, just go. Now, beyond that, they link us with the tour operators in their country. Yeah. So the marketing has moved from attending ITBs with WTM, attending trade shows. That is not what will bring the traffic, because the trade shows statistics, the tour operators, people who are visiting, we have collected a lot of data. The data already there. It doesn't change much from one trade show to another. We have to be on the ground. So, like, how many farm trips have been organized by tour operators in our key market to come to Ghana this year? So, if one trade show is going $50,000, and we are saying that, okay, let's look for this market we want to sell, we want to target that market, China. So let's go and get the 10 best outbound tour operators from China to come to Ghana. And we are going to spend money to host them. Mm-hmm. GTA can decide that, look, we will not give them flights so that they buy their own flights, but we will host them when they come. If they come and tell Adansi Travels that we are bringing 10 solid tour operators from China and we want you to provide vehicle, I'll even thank them. I'll not think twice. Mm-hmm. I'll take that cost. I'll not charge them. I will thank them that, oh, we are bringing 10 outbound tour operators from China, and all I do is to give them a bus, for 10 days or whatever. I'll take that cost. If GTA go to Labadi and call Labadi manager and say, David, I'm bringing 10 tour operators from China. These are the top one. I want 3 nights for them. Labadi will thank them. Why? Because these are people, they have people traveling to other countries, and all they need is to convince themselves that Ghana is worth it. And then they repackage it for their destination. Do you understand? Yeah. So they will have spent that money not at a trade show, nobody even sees it, but the results will show. There will be no pictures to show that they are trade show, they are this, but the results will obviously, if the 10 tour operators go back, and you get 1 or 2, even bringing monthly trips from China to Ghana, you've changed the game. And I'll benefit because maybe I will have handled them. So when they arrive, I also get my returns on investment. Hotel that they slept, that's the one that they will use. So GTA might not have spent much money, but they will have used those of us under them to achieve the same purpose. The airlines, some of them will be interested to search for such farm trip and give subsidized rates that the people will pay. Are you getting me? So the exercise of even selecting this 10 tour operators, they can get 1,000 tour operators applying, and that becomes lease for GTA to constantly work on it. So out of the 10, you have gotten a lot of people applying for the farm trip, knowing how many in China tour operators are interested to sell Ghana. You serve only 10. The rest of the data becomes available for we to contact them and work with them to also bring tourists. And so GTA must work with us. We are the top. We are the one that convert the marketing to a sale. So you can work with the global icons and all that. They come to Ghana and do flashy things, but the tourist doesn't know how to come. So he hear them speak on radio, on TV, on online, and Ghana is safe, Ghana is... But how do I come? How much does it cost me? How much should I save? It's not there. And that is where the operators will come in. Okay. So it's a point, Mr. Misia.
Yeah.
I want to... Then my other point has to do with... That's linked with this, is building, I think, 2 to 3 giant tour operators in Ghana. Because look, if I were to ask to list 5 tour operators who are giants in Ghana, I don't know whether Mr. Nsian will find them. When I say giant, the reason where I'm coming from is this: you see, every service or product has distribution channel. So if you don't have the top, and we are all competing at the same level, it will not grow. So there should be a tour operator in Ghana who creates the product and standardize the service experience. Then some in the middle, and some at the bottom, and then they take and they sell. So if you have a tour operator, there's no even one who has like buses and use volume to negotiate the attractions. So he go to Kakum and he take 10,000 figures from Kakum at a negotiated rate. He go to Labadi, he take 5,000 bed nights. So he create the experience. Then the middle one pickets, and then the down also pick, and then they sell.
Are you talking about a DMC?
Yes. So when
What
they
is
sell,
DMC, please?
Destination Management Company.
Good.
And DMC that work B2B only. So these ones will not interface with the travelers selling to any traveler. They will only work with the smaller travel agencies, and it becomes easy. And then, but now what is happening? Like we are all competing at the same level. There's no TS in GTA registration. There's no benefit to try. GTA might not necessarily have to give money to them, but once they recognize there's a lot of risks when you want to become DMC. So if the mother umbrella has that plan and they can support you in some other areas so that you can stand on your feet. So it becomes like when you go out and you are bidding for big projects, you can call and say that yes, they have the capacity to give 20 buses, 50 buses, and they have 50 guys, so they can negotiate big contracts and handle the upstream going down. So it is something that I wanted to talk about. The last point is about the FIFA World Cup. I mean, it's sitting with the because you are talking about tourism.
All
you
right.
see, I think that I don't know what is being done, but it's one of the greatest opportunity for us to increase our arrival for next year, for 2027. It's one of the greatest because it's being played in our biggest market. Do you understand? And finding people is very difficult.
Even before next year, isn't it also a very opportune for this year's December and January?
Of course.
Yes, because American markets, they need 6 months to 1 year to pay, to plan.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It's the overflow might not be too much if you
Might
are
not be
planning
immediate.
for this year,
Okay.
but it could affect next year more. So, for instance, we have already put up an ad for Toronto and Boston on 19th, and we are saying that come and learn how to sell Ghana. Okay, targeting travel agents who might be traveling, because I'm an agent. I'm traveling tomorrow to Toronto, right? So if I see an advert of Singapore or another country, I'll attend because I'm there.
For sugar reasons.
Yeah, no, I'm there. So and the match is 1 day, and I'm there for 5 days. So apart from 17th, I'm there for 5 days. If there's an event around tourism and it's free, I'll go. So if GTA is supporting such initiative, I know they might have their own plans, but as operator and an active operator, I have not been invited or told that this is our plan. So can you support? Or what are you? You are invited to come and speak about Ghana, or we are doing this. So are you in the city to support? Because they are not like selling; they have to market and we have to sell. So these are things I think this World Cup. If there's no plan, we have our plan. We ask Mr. Insia if you want to support. What we need is for GTA to send the circulars to their contact that there's an event, because we are hosting them for free. We are giving them 1 hour AI training. The training. This is in Boston or Toronto? Yes, in Boston, and the training is to assist them how can they use the AI tool to sell Ghana.
Invoice
GTA, not me, because I'm doing this for free. I'm not costing. So invoice GTA, not me. Mr. Nsia, the invoice will come.
All right. Okay, so thank you. 05511119997. I understand a lot of people have opinions to share. Robert Clyde, you can send in your comments now. Uncle Ken.
Yes, Kwame.
hasn't spoken.
He's not spoken yet.
Oh, Kwame.
You have not spoken.
I want to thank you and your producer for inviting me to this
Masterclass.
I am enjoying myself so much. And I think that our listeners out there who are in this industry and listening to this conversation this afternoon should realize that they have had free consultation on matters concerning our industry and tourism in particular. And they should be grateful. Anybody who missed this conversation this afternoon should look for it and listen.
Sharp.
And having said that, I want to tell Mr. Nsia that I am no headmaster. I am
Comment withdrawn.
I am a proper student who likes to come and sit on this show and listen
He said
to
two things.
full-time
Okay. He said
industry players.
Okay, so you can say you are TA.
I'm not here. I am a student.
But he also said a headmaster who bullies people. So
I don't. Oh, how can I bully when I'm only here to learn? I can't bully while I'm here to learn. But I must say I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
And I only have questions.
Okay.
Because after listening to people
Please ask
of
the
this
questions.
stature, I can only ask
Please do.
questions.
Please do.
According to the data that was first of all given by Francis,
Yeah.
a lot of our local receipts have dropped in this year.
That is an international receipt.
No, even talking about local tourism. Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park,
Okay. Yeah. Specifically.
specific other places have dropped. And I'm asking, why have the receipts dropped? Is it because Gideon and others are more interested in what comes from the outside,
Inbound.
yes, inbound, than to promote what we have internally? Gideon, how much of your operations, for instance, concentrate on Ghanaians and local tourism, apart from taking them outside Ghana to other destinations?
So this question is to Gideon.
Yes, it's
Okay.
to Gideon.
I think that's a very important question. And the honest thing that is that most operators are not selling Ghana to Ghanaians. It's because it's so hard. It's so hard. So you have to make it a patriotic decision, not economic decision,
Okay.
to sell Ghana to Ghanaians. For us, we use it as a funnel. We use it as a funnel, so we don't really make it economic decision from there. From economic point of view, it's only a sales funnel for us because we do the two. We do outbound and do inbound. So even if we don't make money, the person experience the brand, he can buy other outbound package. But for tour operator who doesn't do the two, and they only rely with domestic and inbound, it becomes difficult for them because, like I said to my earlier comment, there's no structure. So there's something called SIC tours. The SIT tour is seating coach. It's what makes the other country like South Africa and other places able to make their tourist places, going to a tour place, cheaper. So what it means is that if there is a giant operator, like let's say Adansi Travels, and we are a giant operator and we have the resources, what we will do is that we will put a daily or weekly departures to Cape Coast, to Eastern region, and everybody can sell a seat without thinking of the delivery part of it. So if you walk in and you feel that next week you'll be free, you can just buy a seat to Cape Coast for maybe 200 cities or 500 cities. And it is sold by so many people who are not the one delivering it. So there's big operator who is going to deliver the experience, and he spread that's as a normal good, like the way we buy things. So it can be sold in a supermarket, can be sold in a filling station, anywhere you can buy a package. There will be people on the street of Osu who are meeting visitors. Oh, can you travel tomorrow to Cape Coast? And you just buy, because all those people will not be thinking of the driver, the car, the guide, and but we don't have it. So it's everybody who want to sell. Once your friend call you that you want to go to Cape Coast, he's in town, you have to think of the driver, the car, the guide, the entrance fee. So you end up, when you put it together, you tell him, he said it's too expensive.
Exactly.
And you end up not going. And that is the situation we are finding. So until we resolve that, we come back next year and it's the same.
Same thing.
Tour operators are not selling Ghana. It's so hard.
Yeah.
So we really want a structured way with an intentional support from GTA and say that, look, this is how we want to go. We identify a few operators, sit down with them, let's plan it from the top and design it, and then others can sell it. And everybody will sell few, and then we are gone.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And then,
And then
no, before that, you asked a question to Mr. Ananisia why there is a drop in the receipt, for example.
Right. And I want to add a further one.
Okay.
Please let him
So
answer
that
this
he-
one first.
Okay, let him answer
Yes.
this.
Let me take Kwame Nkrumah for example. It was shut down a couple of maybe 2-3 years ago, and it was renovated. And when it was commissioned, the initial euphoria, there were queues and queues of school children. Everybody loved the new product, you know. But that was initial. I don't think we can sustain that momentum. So the slight dip should not be cause for concern. It just tells you, however, that there's a need for more outlets for people to experience these kinds of things in the city.
But it was not the only.
But the rest, the numbers went up. I mean, if you look at say Kakum and so on.
Yeah. Even in total, we had
and
an
this is
increase
just
in
for
numbers. than
those particular
previous
sites,
year.
you know.
Yeah.
But and that's
Attributed
not
to local tourism?
Yes. Local tourism
and
had
that
an
is not
increase.
the entire volume of domestic tourism. Statistical Service did a survey and they put it at 15.4 million. This is for 2023, right?
Yeah.
You know, because if, for example, you move from here, you go to a funeral in you like Cape Coast, right? So you go to Cape Coast for a funeral.
His daughter goes to school there.
Well, that's I don't know if that qualifies. That is official driver duties. You know, you may not have stayed in a hotel. You may not have gone to Cape Coast Castle, but your activity impacts the economy the way a tourism activity does. So really, the quantum of domestic tourism is far higher than this 1.7 that is captured in those 55 sites. And I don't know whether it was you or Frimpong, but it's true that a lot of the other regions don't have any significant visits to sites there, precisely because they are not, and he's a tour operator, I will tell you, they are not all of the quality yet that can really draw and
That was my
retain
second leg.
people's interest.
That
you
is
know.
my second
so
leg
there's
of
a
my
lot of work
question.
to do in trying to upgrade this. And when we intervened in Kintampo, because there was this accident and we had to go, the next year the numbers get shot up. You know, so it calls for much more deliberate investment in some of the sites. But we do not own all the sites.
Okay.
You know.
So whose duty? That was the second leg of my question. You know, these sites that we're talking about. For instance, in 2025, just before December, we had this notice from was it your outfit that closed down these sites?
Which ones?
There was a notice where most of what's the site in
Which side?
Accra's Lighthouse. What is Jamestown?
The castle.
The castle.
The lighthouse or the castle?
Jamestown.
I think one of the Usher Fort was closed down.
No.
There was notice of Usher Fort and certain
Osu
sites
Castle, the
and
Osu
Osu
Castle.
Castle
That
being
was
closed down.
security.
And then people started complaining. It
Was it
just-
Osu Castle? I think it was
no,
a different.
I can't remember
it was a
exactly
different.
what the institutions were. But
was a
certain
different site.
institutions were closed. Tourist sites were closed down, supposedly for renovations. Have you forgotten?
There was an announcement
Yeah,
for
there
closure,
was.
and then another information.
Last year was
Another information came.
I just want to establish whether it was your outfit that
it wasn't.
put out that.
I think that particular one is under the
Museums and
Museums and Monuments. Yes,
Board.
Museums and Monuments
Okay.
Board. So
And
yeah.
that there were going to be renovations to those sites before they were reopened.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
one castle like that.
Yes.
But it's not in Accra.
But-
Yes, and the castle was outside Accra.
But
I
later,
can't remember.
later, the tourism minister issued a statement.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Due to the uproar people came
Yeah.
up with, the tourism minister issued a
All right.
statement to clarify that they would keep it open for that period
Yeah.
and then do some works
Which we
afterwards.
questioned. Yeah, I remember in this.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it not pose danger to people who will go there?
Yes.
You know, if you say that at the time people have raised issues about a closure, so open it and then later.
Exactly.
You know,
We
were
posed
asking,
those
doesn't it
questions,
cause,
yes.
You know,
I wanted to know from Mr. Nsia whether there has been a lot done towards those sites to improve upon people going
Uncle
there
Ken,
and enjoying
that
themselves.
particular one you're citing was under the Museums and Monuments Board. That is not under the Ghana Tourism Authority.
Yeah, but it's still a tourist site.
But they don't have.
Yes,
they don't
yes,
have-
it is.
It is, but they don't have
But I'm
oversight
afraid
responsibility
I don't
on
have
that.
the current picture. I'm afraid I'll have to check.
So I just wanted to know from, because he should be interested
Yes,
in that being a tourist site. Gideon should be interested
Yeah.
in that being a tourist site where he can take his visitors.
Sure.
So I just wanted to know.
Add to your point that and a point that Gideon made. Sorry, if you allow me.
Oh, of course.
Okay, I think also Mr. Nsia would remember that if it's not 2021, 2022, when there was a launch of a domestic tourism initiative after COVID. I mean, after COVID, we realized that
Yeah.
around that time we were not getting people coming in, so we needed to
Exactly.
find a way to increase, people's awareness about tourism, sites, attractions, and all that. So we would. I don't know what happens. It was a campaign that was launched at Labadi by Madam, the former foreign minister, on behalf of the president. Shelley Ayakobochi, on behalf of the president. And there was going to be, apart from helping develop those sites, there was going to be marketing support. So the point is that, has there been any marketing support in addition to bringing those sites to a certain level where they'll be visited from the GTA? Because in fact, the only marketing agency for Ghana is the GTA. The Brand Ghana office is gone, I think. I don't know if it still exists. But the GTA is supposed to make sure, and that initiative was meant to push the domestic sites so that it solves the problem of people not knowing, one, two, people not finding the need to visit those sites, unless they are students who are working on
So
tour
I'm
and
only
all that.
interested in getting those sites properly done
Sure.
to enhance visitation.
Very important.
Now, Gideon, on your way to Cape Coast with your troop,
How
you
many
spent
do you have?
6
Two?
hours. You spent 6 hours
Yes.
en route to Cape Coast from Accra. Now, my question is,
And coming
along
back,
the way-
coming back is even worse.
along the way, are there spots that you can stop over for these visitors to, enjoy, so that they don't feel the 6 hours too much?
And
On a
having
straight-
to
The-
be to
the
Cape
re-
Coast.
the rest
Having not
stops?
been to Cape
Do you have
Coast.
rest
Cape Coast.
There are not.
There are not, Uncle. So there are stops. So we don't just drive. So the difference between a tour operator taking you to Cape Coast and a VIP station or a bus taking you to, the difference is that we don't just drive our guests to Cape Coast. The whole journey is an experience.
Yeah.
But it's an experience you anticipate for 2 hours. 2 to 3. Not an experience you anticipate for 6 hours. Because of sometimes the limited time the people have. So along the journey, once you take off, the guide will give significance of things on the road. So sometimes there are brief stuff like 5 minutes, and when the guide give significance of where they have reached, and then they take some a picture there. And then
So on your
continue.
way, what are some of the stops?
on the way.
Kokrobite Beach, for instance.
So
It's not on the road.
we don't
Oh, no?
branch to those.
You don't branch to those.
We don't branch to those because
off the
without branching and anything, we are looking at 6 hours. So when you add,
All right.
when you add those, then the whole day will be gone.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Miss Angekenda.
Yes. Mr. Nanisia.
Yes, what? How do I put it? The forts and castles.
Yeah.
They are UNESCO World Heritage Monuments.
Right.
And we had issues about the state of maintenance of some of them and block. So the closure the minister talked about was the beginning of certain stabilization works on some of them. So, because we realized or we recognized that we have to keep them in pristine state, you know, and so she arranged the funding and all of that, and it's step by step. So
it's ongoing?
Oh yes, it's ongoing. Okay. It's ongoing. I mean, and some will happen whilst they are open. For example, Elmina and Cape Coast, they'll still be open whilst they do the work. But the ones that we think are structurally a little unstable, we have to close them down.
All right. Thank you. Showbiz A to Z on Joy 99.7 FM. Today we're doing a review of the 2025 Ghana Tourism Reports. Robert Clark, Charterhouse, he sent in a comment here, quite a long one. He says, it would be good to gather some intelligence from the report rather than performance only. For example, it would be good to analyze the tourism motivation by each quarter. Example, for the whole year, holiday motivation stands at 9%, and family relatives is 23%, and business is 31%. But if December in GH is the biggest pull factor, what was the number one reason why people came during the last quarter? Understanding our tourists and motivation informed strategy. Point 2, he says, domestic tourism, this is undervalued and not comprehensive if we all focus on sites visited. What about the other motivations for tourism, such as family, business, and events such as festivals, funerals, and conferences? If domestic tourism is looked at only in terms of site, we may not give the right support to the other experiences that really fuel a lot of domestic tourist activities. Think about it. What is STC VIP's contribution to domestic tourism? There is a lot in this area we need to look at. Robert again says, when it comes to business affairs and conferences, it is possible respondents would have a challenge in sharing accurate information if they are here for conference that is business related, and the list also has business affairs. We need information to help us decipher the main reasons of visitation, heritage, MICE, holidays, so we can plan effectively to on how to get them to spend more. And all right, okay, somebody's phone is on. All right, okay. Thank you very much about that. And another point here, point 4 says some possible reasons for low expenditure even though we had high arrivals. Business tourists for conference may not spend much. Low product offerings and experiences. What else could they experience? 60% of visitors are repeat visitors. Their spending may reduce on subsequent visit. CD appreciation and its impact on spend. So this is a brilliant submission sent in by Robert Clark, who works at Charterhouse, a creative entrepreneur as well. Still here on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's take a spin. We'll be right back.
Charlie, trim I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. Momo day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Spoil there. Ah, Charlie, you sure say you dey pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, Momo day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah, motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. More day.
Morning time, the pot is ready. Mama cook it nice and steady. Call your people, call your crew. Oba spaghetti made for you. Come chop. Everybody chop. Oba on my table, we know.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my fellow Ghanaians. Presenting to you the authentic firefighter, Sankablo Cables. These days, we hear less of fire outbreaks because Sankablo Cables, they guard for every Ghanaian. From the building contractor to the electrical engineer, Sankablo electrical cables are their best choice. Proudly made in Ghana, Sankablo deals in electrical cables, PVC pipes, sockets, and switches of all kinds. With 99.99 pure copper. My fellow Ghanaians, if life night one travel, now San Cablo be the motto. San Cablo cables are carefully built in different shades of colors to suit the needs of Ghanaians and our weather condition. Always remember to use San Cablo quality electrical cables and accessories for your wiring. For bulk purchase of your PVC pipes, socket, switches, electrical cables, please contact 0530 774 774. San Cablo from Side Go House. Now we be the plug. Approved by the Ghana Standard Authorities.
Every day, the grind goes on. We chase the money. We chase the jobs. But sometimes, everything can wait.
Ghana have done it. Ghana heading to the 5th World Cup.
And in that moment, nothing else matters. Everything can wait. FIFA World Cup time has so, and all 104 games are live on SuperSport on GoTV from 11th June to 19th July. Reconnect today from as little as 98 Ghana cedis per GoTV. Love it.
A single spark that would ignite the fire of secondary education in Ghana. Cape Coast, 1876. Fantapum is born, and for 150 years, that fire has not dimmed. Walls and floors that made the giants who built our nation men of character, courage, and an unbreakable bond. Brotherhood that could only be forged in Kwabuchi. This year, the school does not simply mark an anniversary. We roar! Fantapum at 150. A century and a half of leadership, impact, and Genshakans the lead again. This November, the world converges in Cape Coast for the biggest gathering of legends. Hashtag Fantapum 150. Proudly powered by KGL, Multimedia Group, and Margins Group. With stakeholder support from the school. The Lion turns 150. Kwabuche! Fantapum, our rock, our fortress, our might.
His introduction raised eyebrows.
You are Josh Weissman?
Yes, I am. And he loved the life of crime.
And how did you come by such detailed insight of an armed robbery syndicate?
I am an armed robber.
Hey!
Roverman Productions, in partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM, presents an Uncle Wise play, Love and Handcuffs.
Mabel, remember the ovulation and the action tonight.
Hey! David Fifi Dadzie, you a wicked man. After bringing the police to shoot me, all you are thinking about is sex? Hey, I am going away. I'm going to my mother's house. Bye.
Shows on the 26th, 27th and 28th June and 3rd, 4th and 5th July at the National Theatre. Rate 300 cedis for single tickets, 500 cedis for couples, and 225 for the loyalty card. Tickets are available via the Rover Cover short code *365 *535#. Joy FM, Waka Now offices, Airport Shell, Tama Community 11 Shell, Dansoman Shell, and Bachona Total. Call 050-554-6010. Sponsors: Koba, Waka Now, Apotheca, and M Notify. Roverman Production. Be the difference.
There's going to come a time that the church will rise as the highest of all the mountains, and saviors will be raised in the church to deal with the world system. And let it be now. We need to have a national focus. We don't have to lose this ambition, or else we work against the Great Commission.
They are equipped in righteousness, the agenda to possess the nations. Welcome to an equipping center of the word and prayer on Pentecost Hour.
Pentecost Hour comes to you on Joy 99.7 FM every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Hits FM on Mondays at 5:30 a.m. and Joy Prime TV on Saturdays at 7 a.m.
His introduction raised eyebrows.
You are Josh Weissman?
Yes, I am. And he loved the life of crime.
And how did you come by such detailed insight of an armed robbery syndicate?
I am an armed robber.
Hey!
Roverman Productions, in partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM, presents an Uncle Wise play, Love and Handcuffs.
Mabel, remember the ovulation and the action tonight.
Hey! David Fifi Dadzie, you a wicked man. After bringing the police to shoot me, all you are thinking about is sex? Hey, I am going away. I'm going to my mother's house. Bye.
Shows on the 26th, 27th and 28th June and 3rd, 4th and 5th July at the National Theatre. Fighter. Rate 300 CDs for single tickets, 500 CDs for couples, and 225 for the loyalty card. Tickets are available via the Rover Cover short code *365*535#. Joy FM, Waka Now offices, Airport Shell, Tama Community 11 Shell, Dansoman Shell, and Bachona Total. Call 050-554-6010. Sponsors: Koba, Waka Now, Apotheca, and M Notify. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
Morning time, the pot is ready. Mama cook it nice and steady. Call your people, call your crew. Oba spaghetti made for you. Come chop, everybody chop. Oba on my table, we know.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, my fellow Ghanaians. Presenting to you the authentic firefighter, San Cablo Cables. These days, we hear less of fire outbreaks because San Cablo Cables, they guard for every Ghanaian. From the building contractor to the electrical engineer, San Cablo electrical cables are their best choice. Proudly made in Ghana, San Cablo deals in electrical cables, PVC pipes, sockets, and switches of all kinds. With 99.99 pure copper. My fellow Ghanaians, if light won't travel, now San Cablo be the motto. San Cablo cables are carefully built in different shades of colors to suit the needs of Ghanaians and our weather condition. Always remember to use San Cablo quality electrical cables and accessories for your wiring. For bulk purchase of your PVC pipes, socket, switches, electrical cables, please contact 0530-774-774. San Cablo from Side Go House. Now we be the plug. Approved by the Ghana Standard Authorities.
Feel the excitement. Enjoy the conversation. Come with us on this exciting journey of growth and personal development. We challenge you to break the status quo, step out and do big things. Catch host Reverend Albert Okran as he vibes with CEOs, experts, and change makers. Right here on Springboard, your virtual university. Now showing every Sunday at 9 p.m. on Joy News TV, 7 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM, and streaming online on Facebook and YouTube. You can't miss it. Partners: MTN Ghana, Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Grows Program. A collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Media partners: Joy FM, Joy News TV, and Graphic. Springboard. Your personal value will shoot up.
Here's where we turn around. Here's where we turn around.
This Father's Day, give Dad more than just a gift. Give him an unforgettable experience. Join the Joy brands for the Joy Safari Escape, the ultimate weekend getaway created to celebrate fathers and father figures on 20th and 21st of June. Enjoy a premium escape filled with relaxation, adventure, music, great food, and quality family time. Your experience includes breakfast courtesy from Safari Homes, complimentary bus service to and from Aqua Safari because we care about your comfort, luxury night stay at Aqua Safari, scenic river tours and boat cruises, fish and tortoise feeding experience, underwater cave viewing, eco park adventure with amazing wildlife encounters, buffet meals, island party with live band entertainment, swimming pool, archery, board games, lawn tennis, endless vibes from our DJs, and fun activities for the kids too. So bring along the entire family. Rates are going for 4,000 Ghana cedis single, 6,000 Ghana cedis double, and 10,000 Ghana cedis for a family of 4. Book now or make enquiries by calling or WhatsApping Lois on 053-100-3813. The Joy Safari Escape, June 20 and 21. Joy Safari Escape, one weekend, endless memories. The Joy Safari Escape is brought to you by Latex Foam, your partner for life. Woodine, Le Créateur, Ready Vitamin C. It boosts your immune system. And Valex Lease Equip Limited, Copia Leasing, Renting and Maintenance Services. The Joy Safari Escape is powered by Hits FM and Joy Prime.
We're still live on Showbiz A to Z on Joy 99.7 FM. This Father's Day, give Dad more than a gift. Give him an unforgettable experience. Join the Joy brands for Joy Safari Escape, the ultimate weekend getaway created to celebrate fathers and father figures from 20th to 21st June. The rate is going for 4,000 single, 6,000 Ghana cedis double, family of 4, 10,000 Ghana cedis. Just call Lois on 053-100-3813 now and book your slots. Did you know that Ghana currently spends more than 8 billion annually importing food that can be produced locally? That is why this June, Multimedia Group Limited, in partnership with the Federation of Associations of Ghanaian Exporters, bring you the Joy Business and SMS Agribusiness Month 2026. The theme is From Soil to Sovereignty, building Ghana's agricultural self-reliance through innovation. So make a date. Stay tuned to Joy FM, Joy News for more. Now, if you're thinking about swapping your MTN SIM yourself in minutes, just go to my MTN app or dial *1333# to get that done as soon as possible. MTN, everywhere you go. Tomorrow being Sunday, we bring you the Pentecost Hour with the chairman, Apostle Eric Nyameche, at exactly 1:30 p.m. Do make a date. We're still reviewing the Ghana Tourism Report 2025. Former Deputy Minister of Tourism, Art and Culture, Mark Okrekumante, is on the line now, and I understand he has something to share with us regarding the report. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Kwame.
How are you?
God is good.
Great. Good to have you on the show.
Good to hear from you. And I've heard Uncle Ken. I've heard Mr. Nsia. I've heard Gideon. And then, is it Francis Doku?
Yes, Francis is here. Francis is here. Yeah, he's here.
Is my selection right?
Yeah, you're right. And then Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong is also here.
He's the one I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So my greetings to Mr. Frimpong.
He's the president of Africa Tourism Research Network.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So we are all assessing and analyzing the report for 2025 tourism reports, and I'm very sure you've gone through it. Your general assessment, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Kwame. After listening to everyone, I see you come from a school that does not discard what they have said, but it is a new form of seeing tourism. Maybe because of where I sat in the ministry, I had the opportunity to be part of some meetings outside Ghana, and then I learned a lot. Almost everyone is talking about either events or experience. But in our last document that we put together for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, some of us were pushing for this form that I'm going to talk about. Almost every ministry that you find in this country has a role to play in tourism. And so if we look at it from that side, some struggle and how do we find new markets? They will come naturally. Let's assume that Agenda 111 is ready. You will see that the pressure on cars at the moment, when the doctors were speaking on cars, they mentioned that, cars is not just 7 people in Ashanti region. People come from Burkina Faso. People come from Cote d'Ivoire. When they come in, they become health tourists. So let's assume that Ministry of Tourism has a target of giving us more competitive hospitals across West Africa. What happens to us is that we are going to get tourists from health. Education, another ministry. We are building schools with the mind that we want to export schools or education. So we are exporting education now. UK does that very well. Uncle Ken lived in the UK. You know, they actually send people to countries to go and market education. And that is why they are proud of their Ivy League schools. It's an agenda, education or educational tourism. Religion, National Cathedral. You saw how we saw it. We saw it as, even if President Kufuor had something that he wanted to please God, it was obvious that there was a degree of tourism around the National Cathedral. What did we do? We allowed, because the people in this ecosystem ourselves do not fight for what is ours. We left it and made it a political thing. Everybody was quiet. Oh, it's an MPP and NDC thing. We are not politicians. Let's leave it like that. And it is there like that. If I show you data on how much Hajj is given to Saudi, you will be surprised. And the investment that they are doing to make tourism a big deal, it means that they are going to expand. They are going to create new markets. So, Mr. Nsia mentioned new markets and how expensive it is. It is expensive to identify new markets and then grow the new markets. It is so everywhere. But you are a developing country. So you have low-hanging fruit around, like Ministry of Health, ecotourism. Then it goes under forestry. So almost every ministry has a role to play. And when they all understand that the tourism ministry is just an environment, marketing environment. It's not a product. We are all going to take decisions that will help this ministry grow. And so what will happen is that the Ministry of Tourism is only going to become a marketing tool for all these other ministries. As you think of doing all these things, you are indirectly developing your country. But the moment you fix your hospitals, you are developing. You fix your roads to make sure that tourism is fine. You are developing. Education, you are developing. Before you see, the whole country is getting, the people in the country are benefiting, but we're actually taking the money from outsiders to fix our country. That is how it's working now. And so if we sit and say, I noticed everybody is talking about, heritage tourism, diasporic tourism, we don't have sites. The site conversation is gradually becoming outmoded. Because somebody wants to come to Ghana, not because of a tourist site. No, not at all. So how do we make money from them? How do you get somebody to travel to your country? Look at Turkey. Today, anytime the women think BBL, it is Turkey. Today, somebody thinks of kidney, it is India. They are all tourism agenda. We must draw ours. Creative Arts has supported the tourism ministry to give us the December. How do we identify new markets? Through the other ministries. Not just because the Creative Arts and our tourism ministry, they are just doing creative arts, heritage tourism, diasporic tourism. No, the other ministries must begin to supply us content to make people travel to Ghana. See, that is why Dr. Maumia must come.
Please, looking at this last year's report for tourism, how would you assess the performance comparing this to the previous year?
You know, I think that basically, if you look at the document that I saw, the meaning is that you got more people who spend less. Yes, because let's assume that I am a common traveler to Ghana, and then you rely on just the tourist site. After a few years, if I scan around and visit almost all the tourist sites, why do I have to come to Ghana again? They are done with you. That is why it is important that every time you produce new products, let's not forget, you will think you are the only one who has seen money in tourism. Other countries are also seeing money in tourism. And so they are doing more. So you are all fighting for the same customers around the world. And today we don't have the seller's market anymore, where the seller has a few. When I was growing up, we really had Datsun. A few cars, Peugeot, Datsun. But today, look at the Chinese cars. They are all selling. So today is a buyer's market. The buyer is spoiled with products, and they choose what they want.
Great.
So if you do not give them something to entice them to always want to come back, they will leave you. And when they come, and you don't have product that will entice them to spend, promotion, when they land at the airport, what do they see? Where are the places that they are supposed to go? How do you get them to spend? And it must be planned on paper. It must be planned on paper.
All right.
So the moment they land, then they say, oh, you have to visit this place. You have to visit that place. Some of them are not supposed to be heritage sites. And I remember when I went for my vetting, I mentioned it. Tobia, ABL. It's a tourist site. The first beer company in Ghana. A lot of companies. There's so many places. But we are always looking for, that's God-given something. A stone somewhere that somebody must go and see. Natural stuff. No. We must think further. Expand the scope. Offer more. That will always entice that traveler that when I go to Ghana, I'll see new things. I see that you said Easter. Abeku Santana mentioned Easter. This Easter conversation, I think that maybe they need to think about it again, because Easter is already big. If you go to Kwewu and say you are doing Easter in Kwewu, and so you are making Easter, really, I don't get it. And that day you allowed him to also go scot-free, because what are they doing in Kwewu? I have been a staunch Kwewu person even before I became a minister. Almost every Easter I was there. Modak is my Samo is my friend. He would take me to Kwewu. I know the culture in Kwewu during Easter.
Okay, Mark. So I think what he meant was to make the experience bigger, not only in Kwewu but across the country. That was what he said during that interview.
And so, what were they adding?
Okay.
That answer didn't come.
Please, we appreciate your time this evening here on Showbiz A to Z. Thanks so much, former Deputy Minister of Tourism, Art and Culture, Mark Okreku Mante there. Thank you so much. All right. Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie, still here with the entire team and our panel. Reading the reports, I saw something. So, from 55 tourist sites in 2025, we had an increase, from 1,793,797 with domestic tourist residents accounting for 1,499,696 visits. And this is 84% of residents. I think there is a mistake there, because if you strike 84% of that, 84% of 1.79, it gives you 1.506789.48. So I think they should check that one. So that was some mathematical calculation that I saw right there. And then let me come to you, Mr. Naninsia. The issue of the decline in international receipts is of concern. People are saying because of that, it means we didn't get more money, and we are coming down. If you compare that to 2022 reports, 23, 24, this is the only time post-COVID that we have gone down in terms of international receipts. Is it a matter of concern?
Not at all. First of all, I think we've established from our discussions today that it estimated revenue using just average spend plus numbers is not robust enough. If we wanted to really compute the real impact of tourism spend, then it should spread even into domestic expenditure and so on. Now, the drop from I think 3,700 and something to 3,300, about a $400 drop.
Yeah.
Although it's the same length. It's not outrageous. It's not outrageous.
Okay.
The disposable income that the peoples have, there could be many reasons why it is so. Because we haven't drilled down sufficiently to be able to explain the drop. I don't want to make any unnecessary speculations. But one of the things that could happen was that we find that the choice of accommodation, the non-traditional accommodation component is growing, like the Airbnbs and so on. And the average spend there is quite slightly lower than what you pay, say, in a 4 or 5 star.
Yeah.
That could be one of the reasons why people are probably spending less on in Ghana. It could be. It could be more.
Okay.
But compared to our neighbors, even that figure, the 3,000 figure, is high. I mean, if you had $3,000, Gideon would tell you the things you could do from between London and Spain and South Africa and so on and so on. So even the original 3,007 was quite high.
Okay.
You know, but we need to look at it again maybe
so
next year.
Despite
a proper trend.
All right, despite an increase in the cruise ship from 14 in 2024 to 18 in 2025, the passenger arrivals fell from 12,634 to 5,488.
Yeah.
And that represents 56.6%.
Well,
that is so much.
No. Cruise ship is a matter of size.
Okay.
You can have one cruise ship.
Okay.
That'll bring in 10,000 people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We are now beginning to build that destination as a potential. I mean, 18 ships in a whole year. It's average of what, 1.5 or a month, you know, compared to, say, Anguilla or Barbados or something. But it's when they are repositioning from the south to the northern hemisphere.
Okay.
But we are actively promoting that through the what we do in Miami.
All right.
You know, so that people now build the cruise experience as part of the thing. But they don't stay too long.
All right.
Well, when they come, they stay on the ship. So they don't have accommodation expenditure done here. They probably will stay in Takrady, do a trip to Kakum and so on, and do a few craft items and so on. So the impact of the cruise ship is not too big. They might pay Ports and Harbours some, what do you call it, those refueling and water and so on. But it's numbers you want to grow. And if you look at the demographic of the cruise, it's different from the people who come. I mean, they are much older, they have more time, and so on. So the interest of those people is quite different from the December traffic or those who come throughout the year. And I'm the one saying, so we like everybody.
Let me take these two comments and then I come to all of you, each of you, for your closing remarks, 1 minute each. I think that GTA should create more ideas for tourists. For example, before a certain president leaves office, he should be made to do something like drawing his own car, a school, etc. 20 years later, a tourist would come and have a look. Enough of the reliance on culture and waterfalls. From Eben. Another one here says...
How old is Eben? I'm just curious.
Another one here from Mike Tema says, I missed the conversation from the beginning. Has the report touched on mice? Other countries are cashing in with corporate travels and have become hubs. We can cite Rwanda, Kenya, and Egypt as examples. GTA needs to offer the enabling environment for this to flourish. He said the mice market is over $1 trillion worldwide. The question we need to ask is how much has been Ghana's share. Mike from Telma, that one. So finally, before we go, each of you 1 minute. Let me start from Gideon.
So I would say that Ghana is genuinely unique when it comes to it as a destination. People sometimes ask you, what exactly do you sell, like Ghana, when you go out there? But one thing I've noticed that the tourists that come, on their last day, I try to be with them. We have something called farewell dinner, and they share their experiences with us. And what runs through is that they tell us that the visit to Ghana, especially stories from America, they tell you that it's not like any other places that they have gone. It is very emotional for them, and it is the only place that they feel people more than the thing they see.
Okay.
And so with a unique position and with the kind of friendliness and all the other culture we can drive with, I think that we can grow better than we are doing. And I want to reiterate that the GTA must work closely with the tour operators to ensure that this is done.
Amazing. Thank you, Gideon Osari. Uncle Francis.
Let me say that it's important that we note that we have attractions here that have been built over years, and so we cannot move away from those. We have to look at how to add new products, and I'm saying this just adding to what Mark said, we
Right.
need to add to that.
Okay.
But those attractions will continue to be our heritage, and we have to find ways to market them. Ghana has 38 out of the many forts and castles in Africa. We have more than any country, so we can't move away from that. We need to look at creating new products that will add on to that we have. People go to Pisa just to go and watch the tower, the Bernie Tower, and thousands of people, and they are even protesting for over tourism. Just on that, people go to Venice just for those gondola and those chapels. 20 million people go to Venice every year, and they are complaining about over tourism and all that. So those things are things that we find a way to market. We don't just move away from them. What we have to add on to them. That's. I think that. We've done a bit well, but it's important as we get out of this place to think, how can we clean up our numbers and make them better? I think the tourism satellite account conversation has to be had so that we know that the report that we have, the data we have, is as clean as possible. I mean, for me, some of the data, as I mentioned from the beginning, are a bit, not to the best, and we need realistic. So we need to look at how to clean it up. And let's encourage and help the GTA and the Ghana Statistical Service, especially, to be a bit more involved in this to clean it up.
Sharp. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong. 1 minute.
So 1 minute. I think two or three things.
Okay.
One, I think the former deputy minister mentioned it. Medical tourism. We are still not paying attention to it. I'm a vice president of Africa Medical Tourism Council, and I know the value that brings. And we've been trying to engage GTA. It hasn't worked yet.
Okay.
And then mines. It is also a niche area. Last year I talked about it. I think we need to focus on those two as well.
All right.
Finally, community engagement. How are our communities getting involved in tourism? We are not involving them. I think we need to also look at how we can involve our communities as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Uncle Ken.
Yeah. Kwame.
Yes, please.
Wonderful discussion today.
Yes, sir.
I am more interested in accommodation.
Okay.
I think nobody mentioned accommodation in this regard.
Yeah.
50% of tourists preferred hotels.
Yes.
Gideon, is that a fact?
In the report, yeah.
In the
50
report.
plus.
Is it
50%?
50% preferred
Hotels.
50%.
According to the report. You're reading from the report, so
according to the
that's
report.
that's the report.
Yes. And
28. Okay, please. Are you asking a question? We have only one minute left, so.
But you give me 1 minute.
Yes, please.
10 seconds.
I'm asking if you're asking him a question.
I think a rhetorical question.
Because
it's a rhetorical one.
It will take him 5 or 10 minutes to answer.
28% private homes.
Yeah.
And then 12% Airbnbs. Right. Now, your outfit oversee these Airbnbs.
We don't oversee their private homes.
Not the private homes. Airbnbs and hotels.
Yes.
So all I want to say is they are an important factor in people who want to go on a tour and have a place to stay, both domestic and international.
Great.
And it should be a very important aspect of what you do.
Awesome. Thank you, Uncle Ken. And then the lastly, Mr. Benjamin.
I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to discuss this with you.
Yeah.
Some brilliant comments have come. We've taken them on board. I'd like to assure you that next year, 2027, when Ghana is 70, this report will not cross 31st March. So help me God.
Just said the report won't cross 31st March. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin Ananinsia, Deputy CEO, Ghana Tourism Authority in charge of General Services. A big thank you to you, Gideon Asare, CEO of Adansa Travels and founder of Africon LLC. Let me say a big thank you to Isaac Kofi J from our research department. And then Mr. Emmanuel Frimpong, President of Africa Tourism Research Network. Francis Doku, a CEO of Maestro Africa Group and West Africa Rep, Africa Tourism Partners. Uncle Ken is broadcaster here with us at the Joy FM. My name is Kwame Dadzie, show produced by Philip Nye, supported by Anita Tay, Kwekwe Miss Olivier Fagnon, DJ Wobete. God willing, we are back here next week for another great edition of Showbiz A to Z.